crime, stop the dealing, stop the killing. It's time to kick that devil out your mind. Black crime, white crime, stop the dealing, stop the killing. It's time to kick that devil out your mind. Wake up, let's unite. 'Cause our lives matter. Rise up, protect your rights. 'Cause our lives matter. Stand up, let's unite. 'Cause our lives matter. Rise up, protect your rights. 'Cause our lives matter.
Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Stephen Jones here with Rockin' and Valley. Here we are. Wake Up, Rise Up, the weekly show. Okay, here we're going to talk about and meet all the people who are, well, maybe not all, because there's about 3,000, 4,000 people involved, but we're going to meet a lot of people, a lot of key people who are involved with Wake Up, Rise Up, the concert for world peace. And here's the guy who started it all, the creme de la creme, the Grand Poobah.
Oh,
The Grand Poobah of Wake Up, Rise Up himself, Mr. Douglas Payne. Doug, thanks for joining us tonight. Okay, here on, this is actually the premiere of the weekly show, and I'm really glad that, we're getting started with this thing, and I'm just tickled that you're able to join us here tonight and amongst your really wild and busy schedule for this year's concert.
yep.
What we got going on for this year? I mean, last year you had a little rinky-dink concert. Only a few people showed up. I mean, how many?
43.5 million. That's all.
That's all? Okay.
Everybody else called out sick.
Everyone else called out. So what's going on here? What is Wake Up, Rise Up?
It actually started as a song about 6 years ago. And the lyrics to the song basically talked about everything that's been going on around the world as far as homelessness, human trafficking, gun violence, all types of violence, racism, everything you can imagine. We had to try to squeeze all of that into one song. Somehow we think we got everything. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of other stuff we probably left out, but we got as much into it as we could. After the song was created, we decided to record it. After we recorded it, we said, hey, this would be good to have a music video to go with it. So with that concept, like similar to We Are the World and Live Aid and all those other things that came out, we decided to grab as many musicians and entertainers as possible to join us and unite with us to promote the message of peace and stop the violence. So we did a music video in Chester, Pennsylvania. A year after that was completed, I was being interviewed about the video on a West Philadelphia radio station. And the host was Showtime the Hype Man and Dr. Roxanne Conti. We talked about the gun violence. And I gave them face masks and Wake Up, Rise Up logo items and merchandise to take home and thanking them for allowing me to be on the show. And within hours, the next day, I received a text. Doug, my only son, was shot and killed at 62nd and Lansdowne in West Philadelphia. And that person was the same person that had interviewed me the day before, Dr. Roxanne Conti. So at that point, I said, oh, this is really bad. I mean, we got to do something. And I just ran out of ideas. So I called a Zoom meeting, and we had about 25, maybe 30 people on the Zoom meeting. And I said, guys, we got to come up with something. Let's just put our heads together and come up with an idea. And it was a gentleman on the call. His name was Sean Wilson. He's deceased now. He died last year, but he was a former police officer from Philadelphia. And his idea was to, let's just do a virtual concert. And if we do the virtual concert, we could just promote it and get, make an awareness to the public and let them know that, hey, this violence thing is not going to decrease. It's only going to increase. and we need to figure out ways to stop this, the spread of it. And the main thing is to make the public aware of what's going on, because a lot of people are in their comfort zone. They just watch the news, or somebody else got shot, and then they go about their business. And it leaves you with the question of, what are you going to do about it? And that's the thing we've been really pushing. What are you going to do about it? It was a line that I heard on a radio show on Sirius XM, Urban View. There's a gentleman that goes by the name of Joe Madison. And one time there was a guy that called in the station, was complaining about how bad things were in his neighborhood. And Joe said, stop. I'm going to ask you one question. You're telling me all this stuff going on in your neighborhood. What are you going to do about it? And that kept ringing in my head. And I said, you know what? This is the same thing in our case. We watch the news and you watch all the violence and stuff going on. And it's just another day. Everybody goes to their own cubbyhole and just pay it no mind. My question to everybody again, what are you going to do about it? Because if you continue to ignore it, it's only going to get worse. At least if you try to come up with something, you have a chance. But if you do nothing, you already lost the game. You're done. It's just like what's going on in Ukraine. At least those guys tried to fight those Russians. What if they just would have gave up? Then they would have lost totally. You know what I mean? So you got to look at things that way. And that's basically what Wake Up Rise Up is. So we decided to give a 24-hour concert. It was supposed to be 24 hours, but it ended up at 26 and a half hours. And it grew because people started coming on board from around the world. So with that said, we decided to start in West Africa at 12 midnight New York time. And then 26 hours later, after traveling to the United States, up through Alabama, the Carolinas, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York, we went west toward Motown area, Detroit, Michigan. And from Detroit, Michigan, we went to Las Vegas. Then from Las Vegas, we ended in Dallas, Texas, 26 and a half hours later. This was a non-stop straight concert with no breaks. And I was one of the few that did stay up the whole entire 24 hours to watch it. If this concert goes longer this year, 9/21/22, I doubt it if I can stay up, but I will try. Well, I can always watch it too.
This year we're out to 40 hours, 48 hours of projecting, aren't you?
I think it might be a whole weekend right now if it keeps growing. And we didn't want to really just put a cap on it. Hey, let it grow. That means more people are getting the word and spreading the message. This concert was put together with volunteers. Everybody that was involved volunteered their services. Nobody got paid. If we would have waited to get paid or get funding and all that, we probably would still be waiting right now. And last year's concert never would have happened. So with that said, we did put the word out, and we happened to be on a forum. And we were lucky because two members of the United Nations happened to be on that forum. That was Dr. Joni Carley and Deborah Maldo from the United Nations. And they said, hey, can we help you? They was thanking us for what we were doing on their day, because September 21st is the International Day of Peace, which the United Nations started back in 1981. So when they got involved, it really gave us a boost. And then I guess people start realizing this is an important thing. And this is way before the Ukraine invasion and stuff like that. So you're talking about last September. It was threats, but it wasn't like it is today.
Involved you.
So that gives us Wake Up, Rise Up, Live for Peace, the concert.
Is the UN involved this year?
We have contacted them, and one member that was in it last year already confirmed, and we're waiting for a confirmation from the second member, and we're also going to try and go after some other people for the concert. Okay?
I know that I am going to be married to this computer for 2 days, and
yep, because you're in charge of broadcasting, so you're the guy we're going to blame if we get a blackout. Let's hope it don't happen.
God. So there's an interesting thing that I've learned with Wake Up Rise Up. You guys, and it's very interesting. I think this is a very interesting thing. And we've got about another 11 minutes here where we can work. I know you have a commitment coming in shortly, but you guys are not about non. You're about. You had that issue with Allie Hackett from last year, which is a fascinating story. Okay. I wouldn't mess with Allie if I had a howitzer on my hip. I mean, for the man to chase down somebody who just shot him 7 times or whatever it was, okay, that is one heck of a man. But
yes, and Ali was an original member of Wake Up Rise Up before we even recorded the song. The idea of Wake Up Rise Up came to us, and we said, let's just grab some people and have a meeting. We all got together at a Chinese buffet in Philadelphia and started discussing how we were going to do this Wake Up Rise Up thing. And this is even before the song was recorded. Ali Hackett was one of the people that was at that buffet dinner, and we discussed the things that were going on. It really wasn't that bad. It was bad, but it wasn't like it is today. Wow. And he had got shot 6 times right after he got out of service when he was DJing a party in Chester, Pennsylvania.
So and so you guys are. It's interesting. You're not about no guns. You definitely are for Second Amendment stuff, but you don't want you want to stop those what are they called, ghost guns.
I'm glad you said that, because I want to put this out there. Your Second Amendment right is your Second Amendment right. You have the right to bear arms. We are not against anybody utilizing their Second Amendment rights. What we are protesting is the illegal weapons, and people that have mental issues.
There you go.
Shouldn't have weapons. It don't have to be a gun. It could be a golf club. It could be a knife. It could be anything else. Weapons don't have brains. It's the problem is spiritual. Like the gentleman on the call yesterday, Mr. Winston Gay, he said it's spiritual, and it is spiritual, and it's also mental. There's a lot of people that's really sick. We just had a problem a couple weeks ago with the guy in Brooklyn shooting up the subway. That was a mental issue. Something is going wrong in his mind. Weapons do not jump up off the table and just attack people. It's somebody that has that in their mind that says, hey, I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to take this shovel and I'm going to beat somebody with it or whatever. So a lot of the governments put so much concentration. Oh, we're going to stop the guns. We're going to stop it's not the guns. You gotta get to the people that's using the guns and get to their minds first, and even in the song, kick the devil out your mind in the song, Wake Up, Rise Up. That's what we mean. It's spiritual.
Exactly. And movement, it's like I suggested to Carmen, and I think I've mentioned it to you. We have gone beyond just being a concert. We are a movement.
Exactly. Yeah. We had no idea it was going to grow this fast, but it just started growing. We planted the seed, and it's like Jack and the Beanstalk. It just started spreading, and it kept going.
People are going to jump up because people are hungry for this. They're hungry for peace. They want to sit on their front porch and eat apple pie and let their kids go out and play, in the park across the street, and not have to worry about some creep coming along doing something, off the wall. We don't want that. I've got 13 grandchildren. You've got grandchildren, I believe, too. We want. Who did one of these days we're going to find out who did this quote. But we are not leaving a world to our children. We are borrowing the world from them, and we have to give it back to them in good condition. And Wake Up, Rise Up is going to do that.
Yes. And I'm just a bus driver for Wake Up, Rise Up. Wake Up, Rise Up is a team of hundreds of people together with the same message and trying to have, accomplish the same objectives. So when people say, oh, your event, no, I get offended when people say, oh, that's your event, Wake Up, Rise. No, it's not my event. It's everybody's event. It's a public service. Everyone, even people listening to this, you are involved with Wake Up, Rise Up in some way, some form, whatever. We all are in this together, and it takes a team to get that message across. We want to stop preaching to the choir and get this message to the people that's actually doing the crimes. It's wrong what you're doing. Please stop. And that's our real message.
We got to take care of the sick people. Well, Doug, I've seen we're just about out of time here, so I want to take this moment again and thank you for the incredible amount of work you're doing. Okay, fantastic leadership you're doing. You're unbelievable. The patience of Job. I have to tell you. Yes, and I know because you've put up with me.
Well, I want to leave everybody with our email, which is wakeupriseUp, all no spaces, wakeupriseUp.wuru@gmail.com. Please email us if you have any questions or if you want to participate or suggestions or comments or anything. We need your suggestions. We need your help. We need everyone on board with this. Wake Up Rise Up started with musicians, but you don't have to be a musician to be part of Wake Up Rise Up. Everyone is invited to participate in some way or another. If you're not with Wake Up Rise Up, then join some other organization that's going against the violence or whatever. We don't mind that. Just do something. Like I said, like Joe Madison said, what are you going to do about it? So I'm going to leave that with everyone. What are you going to do about it? You got all this violence going on. It's growing. What are you going to do about it?
Little secret. Just a little secret. My Hungarian grandfather said that to my dad. So anyway, this is Steve Jones with a profound message from Doug Payne, and I'm with Rockin' the Valley, and this has been Wake Up Rise Up, the weekly show. Stay with us throughout the rest of this summer. We're going to have a whole bunch of shows here, and we got the big concert coming in September. Make sure you'll watch that and support us with that. We appreciate it very much. Thank you for tuning in. Good night, all.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Kelly Kors. I'm the founder of Peace Amongst Youth, which is a nonprofit organization based out of Atlantic City, New Jersey. The purpose of my organization is to bring awareness to how our community is impacted by violent crimes and the negative impact it has on us as a whole, going untreated. I'm personally in this mission, and I lost my 13-year-old son to gun violence in 2012. Until today, I'm fighting the justice system for my son who's now.
Please listen to this message for you. It's from the groups of Phase 5 Record Show. When someone said we need to spread the news, we decided to share it through a song. Black crime, white crime, stop the dealing, stop the killing. It's time to kick that devil out your mind. Black crime, white crime, stop the dealing, stop the killing. It's time to kick the devil out your mind. Let's unite, 'cause our lives matter. Rise up, protect your rights, 'cause our lives matter. Stand up, let's unite, 'cause our lives matter. Rise up, protect your rights, 'cause our lives matter.
It doesn't matter if you're black or white. Love your brother, love your sister, please treat them right. Don't wait until they're almost dead to feed the poor, even with a loaf of bread.
Let's unite,
Yeah.
'cause our lives matter. Rise up, protect your rights, 'cause our lives matter. Stand up, let's unite, 'cause our lives matter. Rise up, protect your rights, 'cause our lives matter. Wave your hands in the air, wave your hands in the earth. Show the world that we care. Wave your hands in the air, wave your hands in the earth. Wave your hands, you care.
Breaking news is the same old mess. Someone got shot, can't snitch, no arrest. Here's the basic information before leaving Earth. Open up that book, it's all in the Word.
2 Chronicles chapter 7. verse 14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and will forgive their sins, and will heal their land.
Human traffic, kidnapping, this is too wild. Another missing child. Why complain about the politicians you call a joke? In the end, you won't even go and vote.
Wake up, let's unite. 'Cause our lives matter. Rise up, protect your rights. 'Cause our lives matter. Stand up, let's unite. 'Cause our lives matter.
Children, I've come back today to tell the story of the long, hard way that I had to climb, that I had to know, in order that my race might live and grow. Look at my face, dark as the night, yet shining like the sun, the love's true light. I am the child they stole from the sand 300 years ago in Africa's land.
Wave your hands in